intuitive friends, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lexa Tarot, and today I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on, is this your tarot love story? Now, these messages are for those of you who may be single or for those of you who may be in partnerships. I'll talk more about that in a minute, but first, my name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second-degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, just take a look down below in the description box. Intuitive friends, these messages are going to be focusing on, is this your tarot love story? Whether you are single, in a new connection, in a long-term partnership, then these messages are for you. Remember, these messages may or may not resonate with you. If they don't, that's fine. Take a look at other titles in the Is This Your Tarot Story playlist. That being said, intuitive friends, I do have some preliminary cards here, and I have more cards that I will be shuffling. So let's take a look here at what's coming through. I will first channel messages for those of you who are in connections, and then following that will be those of you who are not in connections. And like that, it's easier for you to, whatever applies to you, depending on your love life status, then that would make more sense here for you. So first, let's take a look at the first preliminary card here. And it says, wild at heart, a desire for freedom leads to running away again. This wild at heart card, for those of you who are in connections, especially with the fact that it says running away again, I feel that there is this, at times, this distance that is felt, whether emotionally, physically, or energetically in your connection, and sometimes you feel this sense of connection. One or both of you here may feel the need to have more independence. If it's not independence, it's personal space. But there's this desire here there's this desire of wanting to spread your wings, or maybe your partner. Again, it could be either way, but someone wants to spread their wings here, whether it's individually or both of you. What I'm getting here, especially with personal space, there may be times where it feels that there may be here a little bit of constraint, or a feeling of, I have to consistently share my schedule or share my free time, or what I'm doing if I'm not at work or if I'm not at X, Y, and Z. And that could be felt here, again, between either one of you or both of you. Now, if you are single, for those of you who are single, this is telling me here energetically that you were in a connection here that may have felt a little bit stifling. Okay? You may have had a breakup, separation, or divorce, for those of you who are single, and you may have felt that you were trapped, or this feeling of confinement in a connection that did not feel as stable as you would have liked. There was a level of unpredictability in your past connection that may have created this sense of you didn't know if you were coming or going at some point in time. For those of you that are single, I feel that you're now enjoying your freedom. And you're enjoying it. This is so interesting. You're enjoying your freedom so much that there's a part of you here, for those of you who are single, that fear losing that sense of independence. And there may be here this sense of kind of wanting or moving through connections as casual, or I'm getting kind of like no strings attached type of energy. All right, let's take a look at the next set of preliminary cards, and then of course I will be doing more shuffling. You have Revenge. Although this Revenge card is feeling like jaded, it says, I'm looking to damage you in retaliation for perceived wrongs. Support. I'm here to support and elevate you while expecting nothing in return. Last but not least, we have Career. I'm concentrating on my career and focused on advancing no matter what it takes. For those of you who are in connections, I feel that this Wild at Heart may be very much connected to one of you or both of you, not only feeling like you would like more independence or personal space. For others of you, if that doesn't resonate, there's an energy that's very much connected to career. It's as if you would like to focus more on your career, developing your career. Grounding, something of importance here, which may at times pull you away from your connection, whether that's, work hours, whether that's travel, having to travel for work, or kind of like being on call is how this is coming through. For those of you who are in connections first, I'm going to talk to those of you who are in connections first, and then I'm going to talk to the singles collective. Okay? Those of you who are those of you who are in connections, there's this energy where when things are feeling a little bit distant, whether it's emotional, whether it's energetic, whether it's physical, that it happens, or at the very least, it's intensified due to some sort of resentment, some sort of lingering hurt, lingering disappointment. This could even be emotional walls that either one of you or both of you need to reconsider in regards to having a deep discussion. Because I'm getting this like tit for tat energy here with this. Now, I know it says revenge, but I'm getting revenge or jaded energy. Support, for those of you who are in a connection, is a reminder here of needing to lean on each other through challenges, especially those moments where the last thing that you want to do is probably talk or rehash or work through a challenge. But it's super important for both of you to remain supportive of each other, because there may be here some type of either residual energies of resentment, hurt, or needing to visit or revisit why at times there's this feeling of either emotional, energetic, or physical distance that is felt here within the connection. For career, those of you who are in connections, I feel that work and career could possibly be influencing this connection. Okay? So much so that it could be kind of pulling either one of you or both of you whether it's the focus, because there's this need of like, I need to think about work, I need to focus on work, or if it's time related, I have to give more time at work, I have, to juggle, there's this energy here of like either you or your partner having to juggle a unique schedule, or being on call for something, or this energy where your schedule, you may have, or you or your partner may have a little bit of control, but at the end of the day, there's not much that you could do due to the nature of the industry, of the job, or the career. So for some of you, this desire for freedom that leads to running away, or the feeling of running away, is that there is this desire to have a more balanced work and life space. And that at times may create some sort of emotions leaning into feeling hurt, feeling neglected or isolated, or feeling as if I'm not as important in the connection. Okay? For those of you who are single, I feel here with revenge or jaded energy, it's emotions, energy, or residual memories here that could still be lingering in the back of your mind, that could still be lingering energetically around you. If you see here that this card has a lot of like wind around them, around them. So there's this energy here for those of you who are single, that there's this past disappointment that keeps kind of lingering around your energy, and needing to heal those wounds so that you can create a healthier space for you to be open to new connections or partnerships. And support is coming across here for those of you who are single. The support of family, friends, and loved ones here. And also being supportive with yourself, having the grace to understand that healing is not linear, that healing has its ups and downs. And not to be afraid, for those of you who are single, to lean into the ethereal support, your guardian angel, your elevated loved ones who've crossed over, your spiritual guides, spiritual mentors, spiritual teachers, your ascending masters, okay, your guardian angel, your higher self. To lean on that support system, both in the 3D earthly plane as well as the ethereal plane. And here with career, it's coming across like you're overcompensating. What do I mean by that? I mean, you're overcompensating this sense of lingering emotions that may still be around you or residual. And instead of you placing the time to continue to heal, you may be focusing or diverting your attention and placing a lot of energy into your career. Now, that's not a bad thing, right? If you're single, that's not a bad thing. If you're thinking about work, career, stability, money. However, if you're using career as an escape from clearing this residual energy from past disappointments, hurt, then that's when there's something off balance. because it shouldn't be one in lieu of the other. It should be healing and growing while growing career-wise. So I feel that there is a lot of time focusing on building your personal goals in your career path or your career growth, which is, again, that's very positive. However, if you're doing it to compensate or to bypass the healing that's necessary, then that may be this sense of lack of freedom that you may be feeling. Because it says a desire for freedom, liberating yourself from the past, recent past, and liberating yourself from bypassing healing and just focusing on the career. So again, there's this sense of bringing something back into balance. All right, let's get more messages here for those of you who are in connections. Let's take a look here. Is this your tarot love story? For those of you who are in connections or are single, both. Of course, I'm reading for both of you, so that's the reason why these messages may seem a little longer. All right, let's see what else is coming through for you. And you have here, person with the snake, charmed, used, enable boundaries. For those of you who are in connections or have a partner or a new connection, this is talking about you possibly dealing with or feeling this energy where you feel like someone is overstepping their boundaries in a possessive, obsessive, jealous type of way. And due to the lack of boundaries, either one or both of you may feel like someone is infiltrating or overstepping their boundary. Now, remember, for those of you who are in a connection, this could also be talking about work. Because remember, the person with the snake could be a person, but it could also be another third-party energy. So whether it's career, job, finances, or an actual third party who you or your partner or both of you may feel is in a way stepping or overstepping their boundary, placing both you and your partner in an energy where you just want to kind of break away. This could also be family. This could also be a relative. This could be a third party connected to a past connection, especially if there are children involved with someone else. So there's this energy of a third party or a third energy here, creating or adding to this desire to want to break free from either a group of people, a person, or an energy. For those of you who are single, the person with a snake, there may be residual energies very much connected to your current energetic field, where at times that you're thinking about or remembering memories, situations, resurfacing of, like I mentioned at the top of the reading, past disappointments that may still be lingering. Maybe even here, for those of you that are single, there was some sense of betrayal in your past or recent past. And that betrayal and that sense of disappointment is still lingering around your energetic field, and you wanting to have space. It's as if Your independence in your space is super important. And for those of you who are single and meet someone where it kind of gives you the same vibe or energy in regards to your past or recent past, you quickly withdraw, or you quickly, there's this kind of like an aversion to, that type of energy. And in some cases, that makes sense and it's needed. But in other cases, it feels like it's more of a knee-jerk reaction, which is the reason here, single Intuit, a single collective, that you may have here revenge or jaded. There's a lingering hurt, resentment connected to your past or recent past. And so you don't want to be used again. You don't want to be taken advantage of again. All right, intuitive friends, let's take a look at the next card here. Remember, intuitive friends, give me a thumbs up. You have support again. Interesting. It says reliable, dependable. For those of you who are in connections, this is a reminder that in order for your connection to continue to unfold and to grow, and in order for your connection to feel grounded, stable, and secure, you see the number 4 there with the support, super important for both of you to lean on each other through challenges and to be able to really be honest with each other in regards to whatever it is that you're feeling, okay? Whether it be connected to a third-party person or whether it's a third-party thing having to do with career, finances, or anything else. And sorry for the repetition here, but you do have 2 cards that are talking about support. So creating a supportive environment for those of you who are in connections is super important, because it's going to clear either this kind of mindset here of, oh, my partner doesn't want to be with me, or my partner is acting different, or whatever, the kind of those energies that we kind of start thinking and creating our own narrative or storylines, whether it's you or whether it's both of you. So there's this energy here of needing to reassure each other, a sense of reassurance. Especially for those of you who are in connections and partnerships who may have experienced some sort of deception or backstabbing in prior connections. All right, there's a need to have a clear discussion, because what happens is what one person may seem as, caring, compassionate, nurturing, and being hovering over someone else's energy, meaning your partner's energy, it may come across to the other partner as obsessive, jealous, or possessive. And it may be pulling, it may be counterintuitive, it may be creating a counterintuitive type of energy, maybe even a runner-chaser dynamic here, okay, for those of you who are in connections. So this is talking about the importance of needing to have a discussion about what area of the connection either one of you or both of you may be feeling that your personal space or something infringing on your sense of independence, whether it be job, career, or whether it be a third person or a third party. Because it's creating, or it may create in the near future, more of a greater distance and a greater sense of disconnect. For those of you who are single, super important for you to cultivate new connections, friendships, and allow yourself to spread your wings. Okay? With support, there is this energy here that there is a lingering energy of feeling afraid or scared that someone may backstab you, cheat, lie, keep secrets. And in this reading, this is saying it's super important for you, Singles Collective, to get yourself out of that mindset, because it could be very much, whether consciously or unconsciously, be the challenge or obstacle that your love life is continually on. That's why it's important for you to heal. And whether that support system may be a therapist, a counselor, so that you can learn to let all that go and find trust in your heart again, is going to be super important here for you. Let's take a look here. Is this your tarot love story? And our next card is Tease. It says here, the energy is fun and lighthearted, but uncertain. For those of you who are in connections, there are times, like I said at the top of the reading, things feel close, connected. And then there are other times it feels like both of you are just like passing ships in the night. And it may create a sense of uncertainty within the connection, or feeling as if one person wants to emotionally, physically, or energetically disengage from the connection in some way, shape, or form. Those of you who are in connections, this is talking about keeping your connection lighthearted, fun, as to like diffuse the energy of the heaviness that is felt here from time to time. For those of you who are single, hey, listen, go out there, have fun. All right? When you meet someone, do not start quickly thinking of, oh my gosh, is this going to be the person I'm going to start dating? No, just have fun. Okay? Be casual. Get to know people. Let people get to know you. Casual doesn't mean that you can't discuss your standards. You can very much do so. But when you're learning and you're learning about each other, about a person that you're interested or someone who's interested in you, keep it light, but also keep it real. Okay? Last but not least, intuitive friends, I hope these messages have resonated. If they have, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and take a look at the other titles in the Is This Your Tarot Story playlist. Now let's take a look at the last and final card here on this Is This Your Tarot Love Story. Last and final card, we have here the Ace of Coins. Beautiful energy here. The Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles. Feeling of wanting or getting, all right, excuse me, getting an opportunity here to start something new. This could be an offer, an invitation. This could be you connecting more with your partner by making meaningful date nights for those of you who are in connections. Slowly rebuilding for those of you who are in connections, as well as the Singles Collective, both of you kind of really working, investing, having the time, patience, and putting in the effort. Because effort is super important. You can have the right, you could be using the right tools, but if you're not placing effort, it's not just going to happen. Consistency is going to be key. Ace of Coins says new beginnings, an offer, flourishing, meeting someone new. For those of you who are single, there you go. New, stable security, abundance, and potential. So very, very beautiful energy here, ending your reading. A time of renewal, a time of a fresh new start for those of you who are in connections, as well as for those of you who are single. Intuitive friends, thank you so much for your love, loyalty, and support, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.